What's up guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Yvandre and today I'm going to be explaining top 10 reasons why Aquaman is a natural born badass. Now I did a poll, a little question there on my Facebook page called The Bearded Tales. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I was shocked to see how many people thought that Aquaman is lame. I mean, come on! So today we're going to be debating that, we're going to be talking about that, and obviously we didn't get coffee on the last one, so we're going to go get some coffee.
I've been in your waters.
Yeah! I mean, come on, Jason Momoa is gonna be so cool. To think that he is some guy that used to star in Baywatch and now he's gonna be Aquaman. Yes, it's gonna be so cool. But coming in at number one is a lot of people think that Aquaman can only talk to dolphins and fish.
The Aquaman. I hear you can talk to fish.
But actually he doesn't talk to them. He uses his telepathic powers. Yes, so he's got telepathic powers. So once he actually gave someone a seizure just by thinking it. I mean, that's like X-Men. So if you like X-Men, you should like Aquaman. So coming in at number two is his wife actually. Yes, so even though it's not Aquaman, but his wife is called Mira. She is this redhead devil from the ocean, but she is also a superhero. Now what she does is she uses her magic to make objects out of water. So if you know Green Lantern, yeah, sorry guys, it's not me, but if you do know Green Lantern, that's the same way he fights crime. Is he uses his ring, he uses his willpower to make objects to fight them, and that's essentially what Mira does. So together they are one badass couple from the ocean, I guess. So then next up is he actually, a lot of people think that he is just a guy sitting in the ocean, but if you think logically about it, the ocean is 70% of the earth, so he has free reign across the earth. Now to touch on it is he can swim up to like Mach 5. He once shot himself out of the ocean, out of the water, 60 feet into the air. So just quickly think of this. This is like a fighter jet underneath the water. So I mean, that's so fast. But a lot of people think he just chills in the water, but actually he travels through time and space. He was once sent to ancient Greek in like many moons ago, but he was sent there. That is where he actually fought. He was worshipped as a god, but he also fought against demigods as well. Now a lot of superheroes that we know and love, like Batman, Nightwing, Robin, they go to the streets and they find guys that break into cars, that steal handbags, and they fight them. I mean, that's the occasional saving the world that they do, but Aquaman actually fights demigods. He saves the world overnight from demons. I mean, come on. So I hope you're starting to get this picture, right? I mean, if you still don't believe that Aquaman is actually awesome, stick around because we're first gonna go get some coffee. So while we do that, enjoy this. Next that amount of steps. Whew. I mean, who makes 1,000 steps just to get into the apartment? So let me just back up. The elevator was out of order. I had to take my lazy ass up a flight of stairs with what felt like 10,000 of them. But anyway, jumping back into why Aquaman is a badass. So Aquaman actually deals with real loss, like obviously all of our superheroes does. But he had a son called Arthur Jr. Unfortunately, the son was murdered by a villain. Later on, that same villain cuts off, or not cuts off, but he forced Aquaman's hand into a river infested with piranhas. Now, even though Aquaman can influence the marine world, he can influence animals, he can't force them to do something. So unfortunately, the piranhas chopped off or bites off his arm, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna put a spearhead on top of my arm. He did. So he's actually, instead of moping about it, he put something awesome on it, and then with that arm, he actually killed the villain that killed his son.
At least I know I was right. No survivors.
As well as, took his arm. So that's one of the other reasons why Aquaman is badass. He is not afraid to kill. Like all of our loving superheroes, Superman, Batman, everyone that we know, they are all so strong, but the one thing that they have in common that is kind of a down to them is the fact that they won't kill, whereas Aquaman will. So then, with Aquaman being the king, of these 7 oceans, we have to take it in consideration again. He is the king of 70% of the world. I mean, the ocean is 70% of the world, so he is a large majority of the world. He is the king of that, so he controls, or he has the reign over an army of Atlanteans that pretty much has the same powers like he does, not all the way, but their skin is nearly almost like having bulletproof skin, pretty much. So then Aquaman, obviously as a kid, I had a little hamster, I had a puppy growing up as a kid, whereas Arthur didn't. He was playing with great white sharks, he was just doing all those badass things with these wild creatures of the ocean because he can influence them. Then one thing that we need to remember is Aquaman was a founder of the Justice League. So if we think of the Justice League, we think of Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, Flash, Superman. But we regularly forget that Aquaman was one of the founding members. So, I mean, that has to have some sort of street cred. Aquaman, and I am so hot after climbing those stairs. The uniform that we see Aquaman in, that is actually a prison uniform because he was imprisoned as a younger Arthur before he was king. He was actually imprisoned trying to find his mother, trying to find where she is, because he was abandoned as a baby boy. Now the reason why he was abandoned is because his family actually thought that he was deformed. He was not pure, he was not a pure Atlantean. Long story short, he came back to Atlantis after he broke out of prison, and that's when they found out that he actually is the heir to the throne because his mom was the queen of Atlantis. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I wonder if you realized that my shirt color changed throughout this. If you didn't, hit that like button, hit subscribe. I'm super excited to have all of you beautiful faces back. And then coming up next, I am gonna run through the trailer that is launching this weekend. So this Saturday coming, the new Aquaman trailer is launching. Until then guys, I will see you next time. Peace!